What's up? Grave says hello. Welcome to your Tuesday evening stream, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your week. It is Nikke time. So we've already got people in chat on both YouTube and Twitch. Good to see everybody over there. New emojis just dropped. I tried to add some more on our last one. There were new ones on Twitch. Let me back up for a second. Twitch affiliate. So new emojis went live last week on our first Twitch affiliate status stream on Thursday, and then I added some additional ones that needed to be approved. So there are some more that you can find over there. Dr. Jiggles just dropped one in chat right now, and there should also be a new one on YouTube as well. So any channel members or people over there on Twitch as well, enjoy the new emojis. Some of them, a lot of them are shared no matter what platform you're on, but there are some unique ones that are only on YouTube or only on Twitch as well. Also, if we can get 4 more subscribers to YouTube, I can add another one. Twitch, I believe, is already maxed out. At least it doesn't tell me there are any more that I can add. Not 100% sure. Also, just a bit of warning, I did not have time to set up my alerts for Twitch other than follows and subscriptions. So if there's gifted subs or bits and things like that, I don't think they're working yet, unless there's like default ones that happen. So just a little disclaimer there. Thank you to everybody who supported on the last stream and anytime for that matter. But alerts are still not completely filled out yet. Hopefully by next stream I'll have everything like completely good and ready to go. But welcome everybody. Let me see who we have in chat. We got Kickrow, Lone Syndicate, Dr. Eagles, Aurafly, Black Ace, City Zion, Time for Class, hello. Weird to be on YouTube for the live stream on Tuesday, but got used to being on Twitch. Yeah, so we are live on both. We're going to be sticking with this for the moment. Depending on how this goes, I may go back to doing like one Twitch exclusive day. But we had like a lot of good viewership on both for the last like week or two. So we're going to stick with the multi-streaming for right now. What's up? Aurafly using his favorite emojis as always. Dr. Eagles showing off the new highly cultured emoji. Kickrow popping off with the new money emoji on YouTube with Rupee and her cash gun. Remember when that was a thing like 6 years ago, 5 years ago, when there was like those Supreme money guns where you like shoot money out of them? I'm pretty sure that's where they got like the inspiration for Rupee's gold one. Dang. That was like a blast from the past right there. I think it might be good to stick to both. It will probably help you grow and will probably get more attention being on both. Yeah, which was kind of my original philosophy of doing both. But then I think at the beginning that might not have been a super great idea, just because like everybody knew me from YouTube videos and like nobody knew that I was on Twitch, so everybody just went to YouTube, but at this point it seems safer to actually do both. Yeah, I got MLB Neuro over the weekend or on Friday or something. So yeah, flexing her wallpaper. I had her on my wish list for so long to get more copies of her. So it's been a journey to try and like max limit break her. Let's go here. Claim some of our road to villainhood. We're going to be hopefully doing some upgrades on Mihara today. I'm pretty much done with Siren. She's not like 100% optimized, but she has good rolls. She has her equipment all leveled up. So I want to focus more on Siren. But did I get everything in here? Did I refresh this? I did not. Well, let's refresh that. Almost forgot. Almost missed out on free credits. Almost 60,000 credits were almost lost right there. But anyway, yeah, so we're going to be doing some final optimization on Mihara. Hopefully leveling up her helmet a little bit. Because all her equipment is still... is not finished. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay. And maybe if we can level up a doll, that would be great too. Want to get as buffed up for solo raid as possible. I think this might be one that I really try on. It's been a while. I was feeling like I wanted to come back on the last one for the the like black swamp snake thing, whatever the heck it was called. And then I ended up, work did not allow me to have the chance to really do any real runs. But I feel like I want to like give a good attempt this time. Plus, I have the new PC, so that should give me like a good test of like what I can really do. Trying to be serious with solo raid again, and not having to fight against kind of the debuff on mobile. Of course, now we got the new update. If you guys haven't changed the setting for the minimum fire round adjustment, make sure you did that. I did a whole video on that. That video got way more views than like anything I've done in a long time. Kind of crazy. But it is really important. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. It really was like kind of a magic bullet in that respect. But yeah, I mean, after doing like a whole year's worth of solo raids on mobile and, getting into that top tier, I know it's a struggle. And then, like I said, I kind of like stepped away from it, retired from solo raids, and now I think might be the time to try and make a strong push again. Been loving the extra skill burst books from Drake's event. Been able to help me max a few new units. Dude, the resources from the Drake event is just so insane. I'm loving it too. Lone Syndicate says, I'm hyped for solo raid. Got some good rolls on your Mihara. Nice. That's always good when you get good rolls, because it can be like a huge resource sink with the rocks. It doesn't matter with the new update for mobile. Don't think PC matters much now. So it does still make a difference. As I proved in the video, it doesn't fix everything completely. There's still a noticeable gap, but it's much smaller. It used to be like, I forget, I have to go watch my own video, but it was like a 30% debuff playing on mobile. And now it's sort of more like a 10% debuff. I'm curious, what is the worst pain you've ever felt, Commander? When I got pierced through the stomach, the pain of losing someone precious. Yeah, we're going to go with that. He's right. Emotional suffering is frightening. I've yet to lose someone precious to me, at least permanently. I can only imagine how much pain he carries with him. Yeah, I mean, especially now that we can, like, magically heal. Whatever. Stab me in the stomach. See if I care. Let's talk to Crust. I've been forgetting to advise her the last few days since I randomly pulled her. You're trying to get Drake some overloads for the raid as well? Honestly, that would be good. I will definitely not have my Drake ready in time. But I noticed there's actually challenges in that Drake event for like getting her favorite item and stuff, which I totally haven't done. Are there any foods you don't like? I'll chat on anything. Vegetables. I'll say I like anything. Anything cooked by you. Oh my gosh. Flattery works, apparently. There we go. Level up Crust. What's up, Malk? Welcome to the stream. Okay, well, let's go for Signal. Looks like we're going to level up today. Dr. Eagles says, I have a few favorite items, just haven't overloaded or upgraded Drake's skills. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, at one point way back in the day, I think I had my Drake at 444, and then she ended up getting reset. And I've never overloaded anything on her. I think I just had her like minimally upgraded to fight Gravedigger like way back in the day, you know? But she's always been kind of like put on the back burner. City Zyome says, I got another spare body from her event thing, and she's become your strongest Nikke CP-wise from that. I mean, we get a lot of copies of her. Like, it's so easy to build Drake, so I'm not surprised. She's probably the strongest people in a lot of people's accounts, especially for new people, because where else are you going to get, like, all those, like, ways to build a unit right away, you know? Malk is going to focus building on electric units. Had your account reviewed yesterday. Oh, okay, nice. That's something I haven't done in a long time. Man, how long has it been? I used to do a lot of account reviews. Account reviews are for channel members. If it's been a long time since I've reviewed somebody's account, and you'd like to do it again, let me know. Just send me a message. Those are still available. Or if there are any new channel members that want me to review their account, that is a thing. We haven't really talked about that in a long time. It's always kind of interesting to see what people's accounts look like. But I'm guessing the advice you got from wherever Malk got his account reviewed said that his electric units were lacking. Or was it that you were already strong in electric and you were advised to like focus even more on electric? Because I could see like advice being given either way. It's like, hey, capitalize on, you know, your strengths. Or it could be like, oh, you're really lacking in here, so you got to build that up. Alright, let's see. Are we talking to Anne? Yeah, let's talk to Anne. By the way, if you guys hear, like, fire trucks or helicopters or car horns or whatever, my window is open, so I make no promises about it staying quiet. Don't worry, they're not here for me. Unless they are here for me, then, I mean, you'll know. You'll know. Alex says, actually, I was roasted. Sky said I had no follow-through with my leveling and poorly managed resources. Dang. I mean, maybe it's true. Maybe it's true. One thing I will say is that I think, you know, like I talked about this in my skill reset video recently. I think a lot of people kind of forget to reset units. You know, there might be units that just people don't want to reset. Like I'm like not resetting my A2, even though it would make sense to, you know. But I think there's a lot of times there's just like random units that have been leveled up. And it's like, oh, I had all these skills at like level 5 for some reason. Like, why am I even doing that, you know? And so I feel like a lot of people kind of have like random half leveled up units that is sort of holding back their account. You have a good Alice and Modernia? Okay. Well, hey, 2 of the strongest units in the game. At least you're doing well in that way. Oops, let's grab these Cinderella passes. But like, as an example, if you look at my units, they're all going to be like 10, 10, 10. If they're like, you know, the super big carries, right? Or, you know, it might be like another valuable unit, but I don't want to commit quite as much. Actually, I'm more invested in Bunny Soda than I thought, actually. I didn't remember that I got some of those up to level 10. I don't know, what is Noir at right now? Okay, like she's 777. I used to have, I think it's skill 2 at 5, because it was like the kind of the break point for her ammo. What's she at? 4, 7, 7. But you see everyone's at kind of like one of those natural breakpoints. Either like level 4 skills, level 5 skills, level 7, level 10, that kind of thing. And then if you go to like, you know, any other random unit, like Laplace, I have no investment in her, right? Now Laplace is a good unit, but I haven't gotten her treasure. I haven't overloaded her equipment. So there's no use in me having like leveled up on her skills, right? Or like any other unit that I could like point out here, you know, like Maiden, I don't know, like she was in Arena a long time ago. But so, you know, just kind of like, it's better to focus on fewer things than just like have a bunch of things leveled up. That's the point I'm trying to make in a very rambly way. Wait, you're supposed to reset units? Yeah. Orify says, a review for my account would be something about not focusing on really anything except Viper, and then not even doing that well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I reviewed Orifly's account a long time ago, and he had like 10, 10, 10 Himeno with overloads. But, you know, stuff like that is fun. You know, if you're just like a super fan of like one character, like, that's cool too. You know, because it's easy to be like, oh, you should invest in your Black Shadow Scarlet and your Alice. You know, like that's... No one needs to tell you that, right? But, like, kind of like seeing units that aren't just like cookie cutter. You know, accounts that have like kind of maybe a specific focus. I think that's the point. Like, having focus is important when building your account in Nikke. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're going for the most meta units, but there's like a goal in mind, right? So maybe it is building the most meta units, or maybe it's like focusing on a specific element, or maybe there's a specific type of characters or something like that, but not just kind of like randomly spreading your resources around. What's up, Jay? Welcome to the stream. All right, let's go to the Arc. Oh, we got overclock. All right, I guess we're doing that. Yes, quick simulation. Sure, we'll take this. Might as well. Anything better? Since we are about to do overclock, I might as well like choose some things that do something. All right, sure. I guess we'll just get like Pilgrim crit rate up. It's not really going to be very impactful, but whatever. David Santana says, I never bothered with resetting my units. You could probably get a big power spike if you did. Of course, I think we're out of the most recent time limit for resetting your units. I think that ended a couple days ago. Yep, we'll keep that. Alright, overclock. First I'm doing overclock with Little Mermaid. Assuming I can use her. We'll see what we have. Have to re-choose everything. Okay. So sure, we'll go for attack, we'll go for defense. If anybody really new to the game is watching, basically I'm choosing different debuffs or for myself or buffs for the enemies. And the higher I get up to ratio 25 is what's going to give me more rewards. What is this one? So status bonus obtained through oh no, this is a tough one. Taking this off is pretty brutal. And you can see I'm currently at ratio 7. I forget what these do. Normal difficulty will not appear before battle stages. This is a great one to put on as like just kind of like a default, because if you're not really strong enough to avoid normal stages, then you're probably going to struggle with overclock in general. Whereas this is going to just be a great way to just add ratio without taking some bigger type of debuff. We'll take the lesser time to destroy. Assuming you have enough DPS, this is also a really great one to grab pretty much no matter what. And then what is this? Let's see. Disables Nikke's additional damage effect. Damage caused by the additional damage effect will no longer occur. Depending on your squad, that may or may not be scary. Let's not select that for the moment. What does this one do? Whoa. Your selected option will be replaced after each... Oh, okay. We're not going to do that. What does this do? Core Enhancement 2. Fixes core damage dealt by Nikke's basic attack at 100% effect. That increases core damage will not take effect. Again, this one may or may not be a huge debuff. What's the lesser version of it? Just decreases core damage less. So normally you do, I think it's 300% damage modifier to cores. All Rapture codes remain as water. This is probably the biggest freebie. Like, you always want to take whatever the elemental restriction is. Because, I mean, sure, whatever. We make them all water. That's fine. Dr. Yo says, last time I had reset was 2B. Not this past week, but whenever the last reset was available. That's fair. I still have investment in my 2B just because, but that's totally reasonable. David says, I'm probably the one of the minority that always felt like you had enough stuff for units, so you just kind of kept stuff leveled in case they had niche applications in the future. I mean, you know, it also depends on how many skill books you've been buying, right? Like, some people might literally just not even need to reset anything. What is this? Peekaboo 2? What are we playing here? 1 unit of Peekaboo with code water appears. It will first appear for 10 seconds after battle begins. Oh, this is like adding like extra strong enemies. We might not have to deal with that. Same with this thing. 1 unit of sentry. All right. What about this one? White ice dragon with code water appears above the battlefield. Okay, these are kind of your really hardcore ones. If you can avoid like these kind of things, this is only if you're going for like extra challenge. What does this one do? A high difficulty battle will appear right before the boss stage instead of an option selection. This is also a great one to do because if you're strong enough, it's fine. Like, it just means you have 1 extra battle. So, you know, if you were able to clear the stages before it, you're probably going to be fine clearing that stage too. So this is a great one. This one at the very end here. And it adds 5 to your ratio. So I can actually go back and deselect one. I don't know what would be good. We can take their attack down slightly. Alright, I think we're ready. Dr. Eels used the White Dragon one. It's not that bad. Nice. Alright, so I already have my pre-selected buff here from the normal simulation is a circle. So we're going to go with the circle option to start building chains. And this is probably not the most ideal team to be using here. But I think we're going to use it. We'll take out Rappy, just put in Modernia there. This is, I'm sure this is not ideal. Like, this is not a great scenario for Mihara, but that's okay. We're having fun. I was also pushing a bunch of hard campaign in the last few days using Mihara, even though that's like the worst place to have Mihara, because, you know, she's just way better at bosses. But I was still kind of pushing through. We might try and do a little bit more campaign later in the stream as well. Dang, I think the only person doing damage is Cinderella. That's okay. We ripped through it anyway. Yeah, I should put Mihara in the second slot, but I'm keeping her in the middle slot because I like having her in the middle. I think I'm strong enough that I can just get away with all this BS that I'm doing. Let's see, increase crit rate. And then we have something for only Tetra or only Defender. I think we're going for the Pilgrim one because my my team is stacked with Pilgrims, so we'll go with that. Alright, we don't want a square, so we'll go for one of these survival buffs. We'll see if this ever actually becomes a problem. Basically, I want Mihara's POV, and I don't want to have to switch units on every stage, so we're leaving her in the middle. I'm pretty sure Cinderella can just, like, solo carry this. Because anything that pops up with a shield, it's all her anyway. She's the only electric nikke. Okay, what else? Ooh, we got a good circle option here. We got 10% healing chance when the magazine is emptied. Yeah, we'll take it. Alright, let's go for an attack upgrade. By the way, if nobody saw, on my Discord, in the members only channel, I dropped the Snow White GIF that I currently have on my my PC. We got the Y70 with the screen on the side, and I don't know like how many people are gonna find use of that, but check it out. It's kind of a cool Snow White GIF that I made. Go grab it, download it if you haven't already. By the way, link to my Discord. Let's do a link to my Discord. I just put that in chat. Let's see. Copy. There we go. Everybody's welcome to join. It's open to the gaming community at large. Let me pin that in the chat. Pin message on YouTube. Pin message on Twitch. There we go. All right. Yeah, if you haven't already, go check out the Twitch emoji. It is not available on YouTube. For any Twitch viewers out there anyway. Okay, high quality powder. Yeah, that seems like a good one. Increase all of my attackers' attack power. We'll go for another attack upgrade. So I need to move my windows around. So yeah, if anybody is kind of new to Overclock, a newer player, or struggling with this kind of thing, go with the advice that I was talking about when I started. Don't go with how I made my formation. This formation will not be good for you. JD asks, what's the best weapon choice to do overclock ratio 50? Well, I have yet to do an actual ratio 50 clear. It's going to just depend on what it is, right? Because some seasons you're going to have weapon class restrictions, right? It just depends on like what the options are. But I mean, I think kind of the generally most OP team now is going to be a lot of machine guns, because like combining machine guns with Little Mermaid is pretty nuts right now. Not to mention that, you know, just some of the best units in the game, like Rappy, is a machine gun. But like in this case, I'm fighting all electric stuff, so like Cinderella is going to be kind of like your OP spot, you know, for that. Alright, let's go... Yeah, let's take the attack buff for attackers. Oh, I already have a better one. Alright. Sure, we'll take a defender buff. Why not? Get another circle buff. Grimjaw says this one requires 2 MGs. Yeah, so, I mean, building an MG team is your way to go. Crown is kind of like an essential too. So like if you're using like kind of like your base is going to be Little Mermaid, Crown, and then possibly either Rappy or Modernia, right? And in this case, we're fighting electric weak enemies, so you know it's going to be Cinderella. Maybe you're using Ein, maybe you're using Summer Anise. It's going to depend on the investment of your account, obviously. Sure, we'll take an attack increase for Missilus. We can buff up Mihara a little bit. City Zion already has to go to bed. Alright, well thanks for coming through, man. Grimjaw says I don't have a built guillotine. Yeah, I wouldn't stress about that. I guess that's your electric MG though. Alright, we're gonna fight to get a circle buff. We're almost to the end. Otaku Overdrive says, I've heard that you only need to do overclock once per season. Doing more than that once gives you better rewards. Is that true? Yeah, so your rewards cap out once you beat ratio 25. And if you've beaten ratio 25, you won't get any more rewards for doing it again until the season changes. So you only need to do it once a month or whenever it is that it resets. And it reset yesterday. But if you're like just not strong enough and say you beat it on like ratio 10 and then you get stronger in the next like 2 or 3 weeks and then you can beat it on ratio 20, you can do it again and get those extra rewards. Ooh, lots of epic buffs. Okay, let's say we go for... If you're really struggling, this is like something to point out. Generally, random effects are not something you want. Like just for games in general, no matter what game you're talking about, random effects are typically not what you want to go for. However, in a situation like this, you can like keep restarting and molding for those random effects. So if you're really on the edge of being able to beat something, you can do something like this reflection bullet, and you have a 1% chance to deal 900% damage to a random enemy. So if you get lucky enough to get this enough, you can pass pretty much anything. So just keep in mind, this is kind of like the secret, like, beat anything card. You might go crazy restarting a bunch of times doing this, but this is like a solid one for if you're like really struggling. This is pretty nice though. We'll take the bullet. At least Cinderella's contributing something. You don't need to do overclock daily, correct. Yeah, simulation room, normal, should be done daily, but not overclock. Grimja had a response to me saying not to stress about guillotine. What did you say? Need 2 MGs for infinity and all electric. Oh, I see what you're saying. Alright, we get to choose a buff to keep. Sure, we'll go for this. It doesn't matter. Alright, so that was our maximum rewards. I wonder if I ever reset my guillotine. I mean, I'm curious. I never had her, like, super optimized, but I had her somewhat invested at one point. There was a while there where she was, like, pretty top tier. This is quite a while ago. I just don't remember. Did I ever reset her, or does she still have some investment? Where is she? There we go. Guillotine. So I just overloaded her helmet. 444. I probably could reset her, to be honest. I used to use her a lot in the Elysian Tribe Tower, too. Before we got better options. Guillotine can still put out a lot of damage. Grab our weekly rewards. Ooh, nice. This is so good. Okay. Alright. We're going to make some progress today, boys. Alright, let's go to our inventory. Am I still low on fire? I think I'm lowest on fire. Oh, no, I'm lowest on wind. Okay, we'll max that. You don't even know what the second electric MG would be. What do we even... Let me see. Hold up. What do we have for electric MGs? Electric MG. E-leg. I mean, I can't even get... What does Flora do? I don't remember. What does Flora do? So she's a burst 2 support. Okay, so she does heal. Increase stat counts of buffs. She generates a shield. Kind of a decent support abilities, actually. Oh, a true damage buffer. I forgot that she's a true damage buffer. Interesting. Huh. Yeah. So she heals and does true damage. So kind of a buffer for Ein, I guess. So you could make an electric team with, like, what? Guillotine, Flora. I don't know, is Ein worth it? You probably still want to use Cinderella. Let's see if we get rid of MG. Yeah, you can do like Guillotine, Flora, Cinderella, Maiden. Who's your burst 1? I guess Exia. Exia. Oh, Exia is definitely the best one. I guess that could be your double MG all-electric team. Or you could use Rouge. But I probably want to use Rouge if you're using Cinderella, actually. If you're not using Cinderella and using Ein, then you probably would want to use Exia. That's kind of rough, though. Trying to do 2 electric MGs. Alright. Grab these. Did I do my upgrade things here? I did. The recycle room. Okay, cool. All right, let's grab these, and we're gonna level up whoever we can with the collectible. Oh, a new sticker. Sweet. And we'll open this. Okay. So... Mihara. Go to her collection. Alright, we're prepping for solo raid. We're currently at phase 11. What can we do? Is it worth doing this? I feel like it's kind of a waste to do this at this point, because I'm already like halfway through phase 11. All right, so let's do some blue ones. And maybe, hey, we'll get crazy lucky and get a super success. No, it didn't happen. All right, but we're at to phase 12 now. Should we try a purple one? Let's try a purple one. Please? No? Let's do one more. Still no. Okay. All right. Let's go back to blue ones. Back to blue ones. Dang. Blue ones hate me. Okay. This is our last purple one. We're... Ugh. Please. Sad. All right. We're one away, 9 and 9. That's so frustrating. This is just such a waste to use at this point. Usually use the gold ones if you have nothing else left. Yeah. Okay, for Little Mermaid. Maybe we use a gold one on Little Mermaid. Let me see. Little Mermaid. What are our chances here? 30%. That's kind of gambling a lot, but I kind of want to do it. I'll still have 17 left. Probably not the smartest way to go. I think we'll do it anyway, though. I think we'll do it anyway. Dude, I really do have the worst luck on dolls. It's abysmal. My doll luck is pretty bad. All right, but maybe it gets turned around. Let's try it. Here we go, guys. Super success, 30% chance. And it's that like... Look, it's that tiny sliver that I'm still on phase 6. I didn't even... Wasn't even enough to go to phase 7. That's such BS. All right. Well, when I get a blue one, I'll use it to get to phase 7. That's so sad. What hurts even more is when you do use a gold box and it's 50% plus and you still don't get a super success. Oh yeah, dude. It's happened to me. It has happened to me. Dude, I just got obliterated. How many did I use? I used like 100 blue ones and like 30 purple ones and a yellow one or orange one, whatever, and then didn't get a single super success on any of those. That was pretty brutal. All right. Nothing new here, guys. Hopefully you all have better luck with that. Oh, I slightly changed my banner. I got the sticker with Bay, so I had to put her up there. I replaced Summer Anise, which kind of hurt me to do so. I was trying to figure out a way to like fit them in, but it didn't work. It also happened with Summer Mary. I used to have her somewhere, but then I took her out to fit in, I think, Summer Rosanna. I don't remember. But yeah. Also went back to my frame that I usually use. I was using the Mihara Uni one for a while, kind of like in honor of the story. It's kind of a good one. Okay. So, let's do Interception. And then we can level up some gear to get more prepped for solo raid. Versus Kraken. Is today the day? I kind of got a good feeling. Maybe today's the day. Maybe we can actually get tier 9 this time. I've been so close. So incredibly close. Here, hold on a second. Let me see. What is... I feel like there's something going on. Just give me a second. Checking some settings on my computer. Interesting. Huh. Okay. None of that had anything to do with the stream, but my sound was weird. Various angles of Booba on that player card. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Tier 9 Kraken. Pray for me. Crown died. Dang. Well, that's not gonna work. Shift up decline dev mode. All right. We'll retry. Someone generally goes down at the end, but like if Crown goes down, then it's just there's no point in even attempting. Okay. Halfway there. Dude, crown just went down again. That is so brutal. Alright, we're gonna finish this one out. That is pretty terrible. Like, if Helm goes down, then, you know, you can kind of, like, keep going. Even if, like, Asuka goes down, you can keep going. Because someone's gonna go down. But, like, Crown going down there just makes it, like, a lost cause. Alright, we'll quick battle once, see if I can do some upgrades, and then try it again. What's up, Vermouth? Welcome to the stream. Cheers. Just got our butts kicked by Kraken. It really hates Crown for some reason. What can we open here? Anything? We can open this, get one more custom module. Okay, the thing is, there's nothing really for me to upgrade on Little Mermaid anymore other than the doll. So I'm not sure there's anything that I really can do to actually give myself a little bit more of an edge in this particular fight. Yeah, she had full HP. I don't know, something definitely like one-shot her. I don't know if it's like, he has those little lasers, but typically she can still tank like one of them. I have gotten rid of the tentacles in the back, and I've tried both ways. I guess I should say that. I don't remember if I did on that specific fight. All right, what was I doing here? Oh yeah. So I don't know if there's anything else I can really upgrade. You know what, let's just go back in. Let's just do it again. Because other than upgrading the doll on Little Mermaid, I think it just is what it is. Whoa, did you see I got like a loading circle for a second there? Hold on, let me check something again here really quick. One of the lights went out on my computer. No, everything's good. All right. Did the stream get kind of laggy there? I feel like not the game, but the webcam has lag. That's kind of like not great looking. You Your Siren Doll has phase 5. You know you don't need that upgrade further, although it wouldn't hurt. But you probably have more like cores and just, you know, like limit breaks on your units. I'm assuming anyway. But okay, we'll go ahead and try this again. I could put more investment into Helm. Her skills are still at level 7. But I don't know. I feel like this should be possible. I'm not sure like what's killing Little Mermaid, but I feel like this is within reach. Oh my god, that burst timing is so bad. That kind of fucked me over. Burst, burst, burst. Yo. That was kind of crazy that we actually, like, were able to burst. I thought I was going to lose that whole cycle. Did we not have Crown Shield up there? How did we lose both Little Mermaid and Black Shadow from that? I feel like we had Crown Shield up. Kraken really doesn't like me today. Vermouth says they pitied Siren for today was fast rotation or something. Yeah, I mean, dude, Siren is 100% worth pitying. I would use the gold tickets on Siren. You got OG Rapunzel a few days ago. Is it still worth building her? For Arena, she is 100% worth building. She's not super worth it for just like campaign or like raids. There could be some obscure setups, depending on like particularly if your account isn't really OP overall. She can actually like keep you in the game a lot longer if you're kind of like working with sort of like less than ideal teams. So she could be worth investing in for solo raids. But definitely she's not nearly as good as she was back in the day. Yeah, Grimjaw also says in chat that I had the shield. I kind of felt like BS. I don't know. There's something happening here that I don't understand. I don't know what took us out there. Kraken knows you can beat it now and is pulling out all the cards and trying to stop you. Yeah, it's cheating. Kraken is 100% cheating here. All right. I feel like the DPS is there. And I'm doing pretty clean runs. Okay, we actually survived that like we should have this time. Crown went down again. I don't know what's killing Crown. I don't know what's killing Crown. Like, he has those little lasers, but the fact that they're suddenly hitting so hard... There goes Black Shadow Scarlet. Dude, am I just like... Do I have a debuff right now? Am I just weak? If you're midway through Burst, it seems less likely to lose Nikke's to Black Shadow Scarlet from Kraken's shot. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Apparently, you know, I said I had a good feeling about it today. Apparently, I should not have had a good feeling about it today. Today was very bad luck for Kraken. Yeah. She did have full HP. Kraken did not care about her health bar at all. Just instant delete. Okay. Let's grab some more rewards and get back to Mihara to try and buffer up for the coming raid. Okay. So I'm going to be trying to build up her helmet more. We should be able to get to this level 4, no problem. Level 5 is probably going to be a bridge too far. Yeah, level 5 is definitely be way out of reach, but that's okay. Maybe tomorrow. So level 4 helmet. And... I mean, would it be worth it to just level up arms instead? Doesn't really make much difference, honestly, what order I do it in. Oh, but I'm still, like, slightly too short on arms anyway, so we'll just save. We'll just save. So my overloads right now are looking like elemental damage and attack. Crit rate, elemental, and ammo. Ammo, elemental, and hit rate. Having this hit rate down here on the third line kind of feels bad, but it is what it is. And then attack, hit rate, and ammo. So I think we want to reroll this to try and get attack. Crown has a hidden debuff. Gives ego herself. Aggro to herself, yeah. Ugh. Kraken has increased damage to Iron Nikke's. Both tentacles shot after raid wide attack. It does have extra damage to Iron Nikke's, that's true. So you're saying both tentacles immediately shot her after I lost the shield? I mean, that's as good of an explanation as there probably is. Just so you weren't aware of Indivilia's cleanser, Kraken may do some weird stuff. Yeah, so it does deal more damage to Iron Nikke's. That might be the reason for that. If Patrick in chat here is saying that they saw both lasers hit her right after. Okay, so what was I going to reroll? I was going to reroll this. Try and get rid of this crit rate. So we can do this twice. Try and get another attack line here. Defense. Oh, wait a minute. Kraken is super effective against lightning? Is that a thing? Wait a minute. Hold up, hold up. Also, we're keeping this. Let me see. I don't even remember what element Kraken is. Kraken is iron. Let's see. I think this is what's killing Crown. I don't know. I don't know. But I think this is the laser that's killing Crown, though. So yes, it is, it would be strong against electric, not iron. All right, we get to reroll Mihara one more time. All right, Jay, have a good night. I guess we'll take the critical damage. It's higher percentage. Might as well. Extremely minimal upgrade there, but that's cool. Slight upgrade. Well, I was hoping to make more progress today than I did with upgrades. Since we had terrible luck with the dolls, and not a lot of luck with our custom modules either. Sometimes it's just like that, though. Alright, let's go to the event. I like this wallpaper. Someone said it was sad, which is totally true, but it still looks pretty cool. Ooh, last day to claim rewards. Or last day of rewards, I should say. 5 rainbow tickets. So pretty soon we're going to be starting hard mode. Get challenge out of the way. I don't think this is a new one. This should just be like a repeat quick battle. Yep. Your Mihara rolls. I don't know why that was so hard to say. Your Mihara rolls have been rough because all your luck went to Breddy. Dang, so you really tried to optimize Breddy, huh? That's cool. I did kind of a minor build on Breddy. Ooh, wait. There's a sparkly thing. There's a relic. I'll grab that while I'm here. A sparkly thing? I mean, it is a sparkly thing, but... is there another one right around here? I don't see anything. Okay, we'll go to the story. Sometimes on this map, everything is so shiny and sparkly. I like have a hard time like seeing where the relics actually are. Fortunately, they put them in pretty plain sight, like they're not hidden behind anything. So things that you'll want to get ready for the raid is definitely your fire DPS units. And I think Mihara is going to be extremely valuable because generally they make the raids to kind of make the new units shine, right? So Mihara, this will probably be like her best case scenario. Yes, tomorrow is hard mode. Other great fire units, obviously Alice. Everybody should have an Alice built. There's no excuse for not. She's easy to get with the rewards. And then, of course, if you combine her with Black Shadow Scarlet, that's a great team. The thing that I think will be unfortunate for a lot of new people that maybe started during this half-year anniversary celebration event is that they won't have gotten the Ava units. And that's definitely... get your 2B ready, yeah. And that's definitely going to be a disadvantage. I mean, fortunately, there's a lot of great fire units out there. But I think not having Rei and Asuka will certainly put you at a disadvantage. But everyone should have Mihara and Alice. Like that should be like your big focus if you're like a newer player. They should both be doing a lot of damage for you on this raid. Modernia, obviously, going to be very helpful. And Rappy will be extremely good. But, you know, if you're a newer player, chances are you don't have Rappy or Modernia. If you have 2B, if you're a returning player and you didn't play for a long time, maybe that's a good time to bring out the near units. Get some use out of 2B and A2. Since they're, you know, at one time were strong fire units. For the non-DPS units, does their element even matter at all? I mean, it definitely matters, yeah. Like, if you're, you know, really trying to be competitive and, like, get on the leaderboard, like, every little bit of damage matters. That said, you know, for your non-DPS units, having a good strategy with the proper combination of buffers spread across your 5 teams is going to matter more than just packing in as many fire units as you can. All right, let's do normal. So I've completed all the missions. I would say that normal stage 4 and 5 were the hardest stages. After I beat these two, 6 and 7 seemed easy. I beat each of them on my first try. 3 was also kind of hard though, but like 4 and 5, dude, these were brutal. I think the best strategy for beating these, I found, here, let's just go into 4. I'm a little, like, it'll be a little cheating, I think, because I'm a higher level now than I could have been. But if anybody's struggling with this, I ended up doing a combination of these guys, and then these and the gunners. Also, I summoned too soon. I didn't mean to put those guys out there right away. So I bring up the cheap pink guys right away. And then bring in shield guys. I use these kind of interchangeably, whichever one is cooldown sooner. We'll bring in some gunners this time. And like I said, my units are a little higher level than when I actually had to beat this the first time. But if you like alternate between like these 3 units, using the upgraded gunners, the upgraded shield guys, and the basic pink attacker guys, you kind of blast through everything without any trouble at all. I'm going to bring one healer. At the beginning, oftentimes I'll put in a healer. Because then they're like, you know, behind all the dudes. Can heal whoever needs to be healed. But always the 180 cost purple and blue ones. And the 90 cost pink ones. And I just like kept doing a combination of that. And you can kind of just destroy everything. And I never even touched the nikkes. Sure, we'll bring a healer in just because. Yeah, sometimes I use the snipers, sometimes I use the gunners. Kind of go back and forth on those. Sometimes I'll use either one of these shield guys. I don't think it makes a huge difference on like which of those you use. And you'll see I've already hit max quantity. And this happened to me even the first time I beat level 7, or like the final one. It was just like, oh, you can't spawn anymore. I had too many units on the field. Which was kind of wild after having such a struggle on some of the stages for so long. Once I started using the combo of these 3 units, it was just like everything was on super easy mode. Remove says, I focused fire from the blue ones once there was a critical number lookout. Daily single on Siren gave you mana? Alright, nice. Congrats. That is definitely a W for the free poll. Got a free copy of mana. Oh, Kikro, did you not have her at all? Was that your first copy? That's super nice then. Alright, to the shop. Did I already buy stuff here? I don't think I did I? Let's grab core dust. Start buying that. You love this mini game because you can play it in public. I mean, it is very much just a generic-looking, cartoony kids' phone game, which is kind of like what mobile games all used to be, right? All right. Grab some of these. Why do I still have an event alert? Oh, it's because of the summons. That gets me all the time. The free daily summons. You know what? Let's do it. Let's just do it now instead of waiting to the very end. Let's just do it. All right. Free Mihara. Core 1 Mihara. It's not Core 1 Mihara. Yeah, I mean, generally, I think the minigames are, like, appropriate for all audiences. Alright. Limit Break 1 on Siren. I'd rather have Limit Break 1 than getting Core 1. So, maybe we were just saving the free luck. Come on, Siren. Change. Still hasn't worked yet, guys. Have not gotten the rate up unit on a free poll ever. Well. Should we do some campaign? Oh, you know what? I haven't even done Tribe Tower, but we will do some campaign. Was absolutely destroyed on basically any RNG I've had yet today. Alright, we got Mistless and Pilgrim today. Nice. Let's go gambling. Dude, today is not my day to go gambling, apparently. Dr. Yo says my alt accounts have gotten Mihara and Siren, but not your main. Oh, on a single. Oh, okay, okay. I was like, at all? Dang. Got the free pull with Crown? Dude. You did not understand how crazy that was when you started? That is pretty crazy. Oh, Tia died. Should I be paying attention? I think we're gonna take out this boss just fine. Quincy for Mistless Tower, that's right. A personal favorite unit of mine. I had to add her as an emoji. It's a great emote, right? I'm gonna add it to YouTube if we get 4 more subs. So like once there's another slot unlocked, then I'll add Quincy to the YouTube emotes as well. For now, Twitch can enjoy it as an exclusive. Alright, 3 easy clears from Mistless. We should get 3 easy more ones from Pilgrim. When do we get a red hood emote? I mean, we could get one. Is there like good art? If there's like a special request, I could put it in the queue for like eventually adding. But it does depend. Like it needs to be a very specific like shape, and then there's also like community guidelines that it has to meet, which are kind of ambiguous, but yeah. It's a possibility. Speaking of Red Hood. Kikros has been asking for a Red Hood emote for a year. Dang. Dude, Red Hood's burst still feels like really nuts. Even though she's not like the highest DPS unit in the game, it just feels crazy. Like that automatic sniper. Could do a Cinderella emote. You think Mihara could be too spicy? Yeah, I don't know. I actually have a Mihara emote lined up to add at some point. if we get enough subscribers then or enough members, then I could add it in theory. But again, it does have to go through community approval guidelines, and it may or may not work. I don't know. We wouldn't know unless we tried. Grimjaw says, as ex-military, he loves the sound of Red Hood's burst. Would you say that it has one of the more, like, realistic sound effects? I think her weapon is modeled after a real rifle. I think I watched a thing about this, actually. It's like a very unique looking one. That said, I don't think the real one fires full auto like that. Alright, 3 more easy clears with pilgrims. I can't even remember the last time I didn't pass a level on the Pilgrim Tribe Tower. Not realistic sounding, but destructive sounding. Okay, okay, okay. Anything else? I guess that's it. Oh, I didn't do arena. I think special arena is closed for today, right? Let's collect these rewards. I think there's no special arena, but I didn't do rookie arena. A lot of weapons don't sound like they would damage a rapture. That's fair. A lot of the sound effects could be better. I definitely agree. Whoa, we lost. I did not even pay attention to who I was fighting there. I just assumed I was stronger than them. Alright, well, I'm definitely stronger than this person. Apparently I just walked into a bad team to fight there. Vermouth says he thinks his brother-in-law's father had that rifle. I assume you're talking about the one from Red Hood. It could be used to hurl a slug into an engine block. Dang. To disable a vehicle. That's kind of crazy. I will say, if they used realistic sound effects, probably like 99% of the weapons would just sound the same. It would all just be like really sharp, like crack kind of sounds. So it's good that they have like kind of a variety, though some of them don't come off as strong as maybe we would want them to. You think you wanted Red Hood to feel and sound as powerful as she was in the lore? Yeah, they did such a good job with Red Hood. Like, literally everything about Red Hood. Like, her burst, her, like, unique 3 different burst position mechanic, her design, her free skin, her sound effects, just, like, her attitude, her backstory. They knocked out of the park on, like, literally every possible metric for Red Hood. Absolutely no complaints. We completed a challenge. We won 3,500 rookie arena fights. Huh. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more. If there's anybody here watching that's sort of a newer player, let's talk a little bit more about things you should focus on for raid. So let's take a look at burst 3s first. So I already said that everyone should have Mihara and Alice. This is if you're worried about the upcoming solo raid. Okay, solo raid is about to start, so we're just going to take a look at like units that are going to be important for you to keep in mind if you're kind of a newer player. So definitely want Mihara, definitely want Alice. These are two units that are within your grasp. Mihara is the current rate up. Alice is a like free bonus character, so you can get her as well. These are both top tier DPS units, and they're both fire element, which means they're going to be really, really good against Gluttony solo raid. If you have them, Modernia and Rappy Red Hood are also going to be really, really good, doing a lot of damage. Remember, if you can on Modernia, get 1 line of hit rate on her. And then some other units that unfortunately you probably won't have if you're a newer player, but will likely see play in this raid, are going to be Asuka and Rei. Rei boosts your entire team's fire damage. Asuka is just a great fire DPS with pierce damage, so they're going to be in there likely as well. So those are kind of like your noteworthy burst 3s. We'll see who else matters. Helm will probably see some high level play, but again, if you don't have her treasure, that's not going to be as relevant for you. If you're an old returning player, we kind of joked about the near units because both of them are fire DPS units. You could try them out. I can't say that I'm expecting them to be super relevant, but hey, if you're coming back and they're the units you have investment in, that's who you have investment in, so you can try it. So I think those are kind of like what you want to keep in mind for your burst 3s. Otherwise, just kind of like use whatever your strongest burst 3s to fill in that you have, right? It could be Black Shadow Scarlet paired with Alice if you have her. Quincy's a pretty strong general DPS. I already mentioned Helm if you happen to have her treasure. Even like Maid Privity, Maxwell, those are some other just kind of like general DPS units you can have. And then, of course, Drake. So Drake is another one that any new players can have, and she's going to be on Element. So this is going to be your third like core DPS unit, even though I haven't built Drake. This is something that as a newer player, you will have been building because we've had the event. You've had great opportunities to build her. She's going to be super, super strong. If you have her treasure, great. Even if you don't, you're probably still going to have her on that team, and she's going to be really, really good for you in this raid. So now let's take a look at burst 2s. Notable burst 2s is Crown. Crown is the best unit in the game. If you have Crown, great. Make sure you use her, okay? Hopefully you're lucky to have her. It's just Crown is just like literally the best unit in the game and will be absolutely valuable during the solo raid. The other really good burst 2 to keep an eye out if you have her is going to be Grave. She's a fire unit, of course, which is going to be helpful, and she's going to be very good with machine guns as well as piercing units. So that's going to be another top tier unit. And then you have Naga. Naga is valuable because against some bosses she deals extra core damage, but she's also a very good healer. So Naga is another one. She can also be paired well with Crown. So that's another burst to keep in mind. And then you have Blanc. Blanc is going to be another good one for you to keep in mind to use as your burst 2. Just be aware she has a 60-second cooldown for her burst. Now you can get rid of this and she becomes a 20-second if you pair her with someone on your team. So if you have Noir, I have it sorted by burst 2s. If you have Noir, then Blanc can be used as your only burst 2 because you'll have a 20-second cooldown, okay? So you can do it that way. Alternatively, and probably even better, if you have Rouge, she's also on Blanc's squad, so we'll turn her into a 20-second cooldown, and that's going to be really good for you as well. So those are like your main burst 2s to keep in mind. Others that you could potentially use, maybe if you're not a brand new player, but still a newer player, maybe you want to use Summer Rosanna with your Mihara, if you're kind of short on those burst 2s. Marshana is another possibility that you could use, particularly if you're putting together like a shotgun team. And then Mast and Anchor. Mast and Anchor are really, really strong. They're really good with your distributed damage, so she's going to be good with Black Shadow Scarlet. But even if you don't have Black Shadow Scarlet and you have the 2 of them, these are probably going to be units that you're going to use on one of your teams as well. As far as other ones to maybe keep in mind, if you have Liberated Guilty and you're building a shotgun team, she could be a potential pick. And then, of course, our free unit Mori. That's another unit that could be pretty valuable for you to try in the solo raid. So now let's take a look at burst 1s. The depth on burst 1s is pretty deep. They're going to be quite good options here. But the big thing about burst 1s is that you're looking for as much cooldown reduction as possible. B. Briggs asks, how does it work with Blanc? Yeah, as Dr. Yeagles pointed out in chat, they're both from the 777 squad. So if you use her with either Rouge or Noir, she will get the cooldown to be only 20 seconds. It's not a specific skill. It's just if they're on the same squad, it'll just always reduce them. So for burst 1s, Leader has been just like the linchpin in like everyone's account since day 1 on launch. Leader is going to see play as a beginner player, as a kind of experienced player, and at the most competitive level possible. Leader is guaranteed to be on one of those teams. So hopefully you have Leader. She is a pity unit on the recruit. So remember, guys, if you go to the normal recruit banner, don't use your gems here, but any blue tickets that you've gotten here, you have this pity, and you can choose these units, okay? I already pointed out Alice and Naga. They're both extremely good. Leader's also extremely good. So if you don't have Leader, you can get a copy of her there. So Leader is going to be super, super good, right? Your other one that's going to be extremely good is our current banner, and that is Siren. So hopefully you got one copy of Siren. She is going to be extremely valuable here as well. You've got your cooldown reduction plus a million other things. Use Little Mermaid. I already mentioned Rouge. Not only is Rouge good to be paired with Blanc, but she's just strong in general. So she has really strong cooldown reduction, and if you're using Cinderella, she's one of the best buffers for Cinderella. So keep that in mind. But even if you're not using Cinderella, Rouge is going to be really, really good just for cooldown reduction. The other one with the equally good cooldown reduction is D Killer Wife. Now remember, there are 2 things of D. So we have Original D, who is a burst 3. Don't use this one. There have been rare cases where she's been good. It won't be in this raid. Don't use that one. But the burst 1D is very good. She'll buff snipers as well as just have super good cooldown reduction. She's also happens to be fire. So something to keep in mind is that we're probably going to need at least 1 fire unit on every team, because there will be an elemental shield that you'll have to break through with fire. So you'll want to think about when you're forming those teams to spread them out, having at least 1 fire on every squad. And like D can do that even if you don't have a fire DPS. So again, Leader, Siren, Rouge, and Double D. Now here's where it can get kind of changeable. Maybe you're not using Rappy as a burst 3, although ideally you probably will be because it is a fire weak boss. But depending on what you're working with, you might make her your burst 1, because remember, she has an ability where she can also work as a burst 1 instead of a burst 3, and she has super good cooldown reduction as well. And she does almost as much damage as a burst 1 as a burst 3. So keep in mind that's an option for you. Otherwise, we have some kind of like corner case nikkes that like may or may not work for you in the burst 1 depending on what you're doing. Volume is a solid pick. She does have cooldown reduction. She also is a crit buffer and can deal some decent damage on her own, although she doesn't have elemental damage, so don't be looking to get like tons of damage out of her, but that's going to be a decent option. Red Hood can be a burst 1, but don't rely on that. Everyone should already know this, but you know, she's only going to be a burst 1 once until you're stuck waiting for like a long ass cooldown. So, you know, don't rely on her as a burst 1. Dorothy is possible to use as a burst 1. I probably wouldn't recommend that, but she does have a little bit of cooldown reduction. And you want to put her on last bullet teams, generally provided combined with Privity, so you can get your quick reload. Exia is a potential burst 1 if you're building an electric team or you have her treasure, but that's kind of getting pretty obscure. Miranda, kind of a sleeper pick here. If you're short on fire units, again, we need a fire unit on every team. Miranda doesn't have cooldown reduction, but she has some pretty decent buffs. She was namely good for Snow White, but still has some decent buffs. If you're in a pinch, you can use her as a burst 1 as well. Watch out for Tia. You'll need a second burst 1 if you use her. Also, watch out with Bunny... What's her name? Bunny Alice. You'll need a second burst 1 with her as well. So, you can also use Tuve. I keep mentioning if you're building a shotgun team, So, you know, again, Tuve is going to be good on a shotgun team. You're all going to have Drake. If you combine Drake with, like, maybe Noir and Blanc, or maybe, you know, Drake with Maid Privity, or whatever, you know, Drake and Guilty, whatever. Tuve can be a burst 1. She's a very solid buffer for shotguns. And I think that's pretty much all I can give you as far as like just basic advice. It's going to be very account dependent when we get into more specifics, but that should get you off to a really great start on building teams and kind of like units to look out for that are going to be helpful for your solo raid. If you have any more questions, make sure you join my Discord. The community, I'm sure, can help you out. Everybody is welcome to join. Or if you want to ask me a question as well, I can help you out. Dr. Eagle says, hope you break the 160 wall soon. Yeah, so B. Briggs says you only ever use gems on the recruit banner to help break the 160 wall. Yeah, so just use gems on the raid up banners. You know, if you're trying to get Siren and Mihara, and then use the blue tickets on the normal banner. Also, if you're trying to break the 160 wall, I've talked about this before in multiple videos. If you have not broken the 160 wall yet, your wish list should be 100% units that you already have, okay? Even if they're not great units, you need to be able to get past 160, and so you need more copies, more duplicates. You need every opportunity to be able to get past that barrier as soon as possible. Once you're over the 160 wall, then these slots should be units that you actually need and want to build to be more powerful. All right. With that said, let's try a little bit of hard mode campaign. I might be stuck. Like I said, I was pushing, getting towards the end of chapter 32. I was using this just kind of like fun, all fire Mihara team. I don't know if it's going to be good enough. We'll try it. I don't know. We'll see. But this is what I had been using. I think I had Grave on here before, and it wasn't working. Oh no, we got jumping guys. All right, hold up. Let me pause. This is not going to work out. I had Grave, and I was like, oh, okay. I started dying. I had to switch to Crown. I may have to switch teams entirely. We'll see. Well, the jumping guys in the background are kind of brutal. Because they're behind that shield. We might need someone with Pierce or something. Does Pierce go through these kind of shields? I'm actually not sure. I think it does. Whew, I just got him in the air there. That was close. Ooh, that is a lot of jumping guys. Yikes. Dude, I feel like I'm like half a second away from death at all times. Just because, like, there's always like another round of jumping guys that pop out. Alright, we're doing good DPS though. Oh no, it's another big batch of jumping guys. Come on! Oh my god. I really thought we were all gonna die there. Whew. Shooting those guys in midair as they're jumping at you is not where you want to be, but hey, it worked. Chapter 32 boss is quite a fun one. You'll enjoy him a lot. I don't even remember who Chapter 32 boss is. It sounds like he's not fun, though. Have I been keeping up with my EX missions? Kinda, not really. Okay. I think I've beat them all on normal, but not hard. Lord Kamina says that Alice would work great for those shield guys. Fortunately, I didn't need to switch, but that's good to have verified. Elam says the mirror container. Oh, great. Dude, mirror container. I haven't built Ein. I probably can't beat mirror container. It's probably just going to be impossible. Yeah, I feel like these next two stages have been way easier than that first one that we tried. With all the jumping guys, that was way scarier than anything since then. Chapter 32 boss is a POS. Can I sneak around him to get to the relic? No, I can't. Well, can I beat him with this team? My power deficit is really high. That's kind of bad. Also, I probably need more MGs. Okay, so if I actually want to try and beat Mirror Container, who do I want to use here? I definitely want a lot of MGs. Do I want Summer Anise? I don't know. Maybe I should just go in and fight him and just kind of see what happens. You hate phase 2 when you have to shoot glass slippers. I don't know. We'll try this. We'll try. I don't know. Maybe I should. You know what? We'll just try with Naga. We'll modify. Let's just go in with this squad and just see what happens. And we'll kind of like change as needed. Dude, this song is so good. Dude, I don't know. Not having Ein, I think, probably is very bad news for me. Naga already died. Literally died in the first 7 seconds. Okay. I think it was just the random missiles that killed her. Let's see. Oof. I shouldn't have even tried to shoot at that glass slipper. Ooh, gotta destroy these crystal missiles. Oh god. These are a lot tankier red circles than I was expecting. I almost missed those. Oh no, it's this pattern. I forgot. Whew. Almost messed up there too. Oh boy, here we go. Now is when it gets bad. This is probably where I just die. Our damage is now complete poo-poo. Yeah, and I can't damage the glass slippers at all. Yeah, we're getting wrecked. We're getting wrecked. This is probably where I commit to finally building Ein, if I ever want to pass this. Rouge is going to be too low damage. She's not going to be able to snipe that slipper. Pew, pew, pew. Come on, Naga. We're going to the end. Grimjaw says, I don't need Ein. Really? Cinderella, Rouge, Anise, Crown, and Helm. So Helm has enough damage to take out the slippers? As long as the DPS sniper is strong enough to full charge hit glass slippers, you can break. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Can Helm really do that? I'm kind of surprised. I don't know. Let's put Helm in there. Yeah, the glass slippers definitely make it hard, for sure. What happens in this phase that makes it so difficult? So, you can see it puts up that shield, and if you can kill the glass slippers in one shot, those extra things that pop out, it makes it a lot easier. But if you can't destroy those, you're basically screwed. And there's a mechanic where basically they have like extremely high defense. Oop, helmet down. I missed too many of the crystals flying at her. Lone Syndicate used Rouge to break the glass slippers. Okay. Apparently I doubted Rouge. Okay, we shot down the crystals that time. Now the thing is, it's been so long since I've fought Crystal Chamber. I don't really know the timing of this at all. I don't know when the glass slippers pop out, which is kind of important to know to hit them immediately. We'll definitely take a few times to kind of practice. Oh, it's totally immune. I did not hit that fast enough with Helm. I should probably be manualing Helm. Because it's, yeah, I just can't even damage it at this point. Alright. Well, I'm going to have to practice because, again, I have to be ready for when that glass slipper pops out immediately and have a full charge shot waiting for it. Alright. I do want to do a couple molds, see if we can finally turn around our luck before we end the stream. So what do I have? I have a mid-quality mold, a high-quality mold, Elysian Tetra Pilgrim. Alright, we're not going to do all of these, but let's start on the low end. I always say we'll go until we get an SSR. Alright, mid-quality mold. Let's hope it stops right here. One mold. One tap, one mold. Purple mold, purple rarity with purple hair. It's not what we're going for. Alright. Who do we want from here? I have all of them now. We got crust. We don't need another crust. Probably the ideal pick from here would be Helm. Maybe Helm. Anybody else? Or Bay. Getting closer to get maximum break. Bay or Clay. I'm going to say Bay, Clay, or Helm are my top picks here. Failed successfully? I'll take it. All right, I think that officially, let's double check. Yes, that is officially Core 7. Guys, this is kind of exciting. Happened here on stream. This is my first ever Core 7 unit, which sounds crazy. I know, I'm a day one player. I've played every day and have never gotten a Core 7 unit. It's happening. It's kind of crazy to think that, like, it's been 2.5 years have not gotten a Core 7 unit. All right, luck finally turned around. I'm happy about it. Okay, thanks for hanging out, guys. I'm going to practice my mirror container fight, and hopefully I will be able to learn the timing to kill the glass slippers. It's been a long time since fighting that boss, but yeah. Let me see if there's... can I drop off Twitch people? Let me see. We should raid. Let's raid. Let's raid. Raid channel. Who can I raid? Is there anybody else playing Nikke right now? Anybody that I know? Nobody that I recognize. All right, chat. We have a pink bear ears VTuber or someone who's opening cards. Someone's opening. Let's go with the person that's opening cards. You know what? That sounds kind of cool. That's unique. You don't see people opening cards too often. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I will start the raid. And catch you guys in the next video or stream.